Okay, hello and welcome to episode 7, I think we're on now, of Hunter x Hunter, I think, unless I miscounted. Last episode was a pretty chill, light-hearted episode where they had to get some food. First some pork and then some eggs. We got to learn more about the hunters and the gourmet hunters specifically. It was a fun episode, but I am excited to go into the next test and see what we have in store for us and what I presume is going to be a more serious test. Because I was talking last episode about how um, you have your peaks and your troughs, right? You have the high intensity, dangerous death, people dying left and right in the first test, and then it calms down a bit for a nice little cooking competition that's a bit more light-hearted and fun. And then I assume we're going back into that dangerous field with test 3. That would be my assumption. We're down to 40 people now, roughly. I can't remember the exact number. It was like 40, 48, or was it 48 people who made it through phase? I can't remember. No, it was 148 or something like that. Yeah, it was 148. So we're down to like 40 something people now. I can't remember the exact number. But a lot of people, have been eliminated, including the wrestler guy, which is surprising. I was kind of expecting him to make it further through, uh, especially considering he was shown at the beginning. His introduction was him eating food, so you'd expect out of anyone he would be the one who's more like into the food stuff, since he eats a lot clearly. But I guess that's that's kind of shallow thinking, isn't it? Like, oh, he's a big guy who's eating. Clearly, he knows how to cook. It's not always. Sometimes he might have people cooking for him, for all I know. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what's next. So I don't want to waste any time because I'm already getting towards the end of the time where I can record. So I just want to get straight into this. So let's get going. Right, so we got confirmation the third phase isn't happening on the airship. So what Kurapika suspected was correct. In fact, that the guy, the rookie crusher, was just trying to get them panicked so they would waste a bunch of energy trying to stay up. It makes sense. It makes sense. Especially in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, why would you trust any advice he gives you, right? It makes sense. But and again, we get that thing we saw it in episode 2. I think it was episode 2. Yeah, it was episode 2, where they do the two question quiz, right? Where they have to answer the question, and Kurapika figured out the answer, right? He gave the answer. I was talking about this in my episode 2 discussion. He figured out the answer, gave it, and moved on. But Gon, even though he already had the answer, knew he had the answer, he still continued to think about the question because he was he was wanting to figure out, well, yeah, this is just a quiz, but what happens if this happens in real life? What do I do? He has that kind of attitude, and we see it again here. It's a different situation, but we still see that attitude in him where he really wants to like push himself, right? And here, even though he knew he wouldn't have a chance of grabbing the ball because Killua explained it, like there was no chance, Gon still wanted to push himself as much as he could, and even he knew that the goal of reaching the ball was unachievable. So instead of going for that, he went for a goal that would be achievable, right? Okay, if I'm at 4 out of 10 now, and I can't achieve a 10 out of 10 goal, maybe I can just push myself to achieve a 5 out of 10 goal and move a little bit forward. And that it's smart, If you can't achieve the goal, then set a small goal you can achieve, and at least then you'll make some progress, even if it's not a lot. And that's the difference between Gon and a lot of the other characters so far. The characters do what is necessary, and that's it. Kurapika figures out the answer and then he moves on. They do what is necessary and nothing else. Gon is so far pretty much the only one that I can think of who continues to push past that point. Like, he doesn't need to challenge himself to make I forget his name, the old man. I'm bad at names. I can remember the main cast, but the side characters I'm gonna struggle to remember. He wanted to force the old man to use his right hand, right? He wanted to push himself to achieve that goal, even though he knew he wouldn't be able to achieve the proper full goal, right? And that's really nice. I like that. That was a nice little character thing. And Killua. Um, when he went for that kick, I thought that the old man had like checked the kick, which is where you like basically turn your leg into the kick so that it hits your shin. It's like basically a leg kick block. I thought he'd done that at first, But no, that wouldn't make any sense anyway because Killua hit the bottom part of his leg, so it wouldn't really be an effective check anyway. But no, it wasn't a check. It was just that his legs are that hard. But yeah, that makes sense. So he's the guy who's so powerful that even if you do hit him, it's not going to do any damage because that's just how tough he is. But Killua had some good moments. Are those people dead? Those were they dead? It looked like they're dead. Like it looked like blood splattered out, unless they're just unconscious. But they might be dead. He killed 2 people. If they're dead, that is. He killed 2 people, which might bring it down to like a nice even 40 because it was at 42 before. But like he did not hesitate, and he said, I can't remember the exact line, but I think he said that he, if he didn't leave, he would have tried to kill the old man to get the ball. Which it's funny because the whole point was of getting the ball was that. Because Killua said himself, he isn't interested in becoming a hunter. He's just here for the challenge, right? He said that a couple episodes ago. And that's further cemented by the fact that the point was that if he grabbed the ball, the old man would make him a hunter. At least that's what he said he'd do. So if he killed the old man to get the ball, he wouldn't have become a hunter from that, presumably, right? I assume so, because that's breaking... that's defeating the whole point. He's killing the person who was promising to make him a hunter. So he wasn't interested in doing that because he wanted to become a hunter. He wanted to do that just because he wanted to complete the challenge. This guy challenged him to grab the ball. He's going to do anything, even if it means killing the guy. He wasn't interested in the reward for doing that. He was just interested in completing the challenge because he's prideful. You know, a guy challenges to do something, he wants to do it. It's a pride thing, right? And man, he knows a lot of underground techniques, right? The old man was saying that the after image, basically the after image technique he was using is like an old underground technique that Gon shouldn't even try to learn because it's a dark thing. And we see later on that, and it makes sense as well because if Gon has trained himself to be resistant against poisons, it makes sense if he comes from the family of assassins. That's the kind of thing you would train as an assassin to, be resistant to poisons. It makes perfect sense. And later on in the episode, of course, we see that he was assuming he did kill those 2 people. There was no hesitation. Like he had no hesitation to do that. He was not afraid of them, and he was deadly efficient with that. He was not concerned at all. Damn, I want to keep watching, but I don't know how much time I have. I'll watch at least 1 more episode, and I'll see what the situation is after that. But yeah. So I think I'll be here for this episode. I want to see what's coming up next. I want to see phase 3. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Next episode will be up soon, hopefully. Like, dislike, whatever. It's all good. Subscribe if you want to be kept up to date with all the new content and whatnot. I'd recommend it because why wouldn't you? It's pretty cool. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like it, so go ahead, give it fun. It'll be fun. You get to click that button and then it turns like a different color, I think. Does it? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it goes like a different color, and you can click the bell and that goes a different color too. It's like, whoa, it's like 2 different colors. That's awesome. And why wouldn't you do that? That's fun. I love changing colors of things. It's pretty cool. Like Michael Jackson, just quickly change your color a bit, But yeah, that'll be it for today. Next episode will hopefully be up soon, and see you later.